First the yellow tape, then the sign, then the net, and now what's that they put up there? Seems like something you put on the road or something like that to block, I guess, cars. It is Easter today, although it seems like with people there actually is less than yesterday. Makes me wonder what happened. And funny enough, I guess for something lighthearted, here in BC, Easter eggs or whatever are actually determined as an essential service. It says here, as a premier BC, I'm authorizing a special essential service eggs exemption. And yeah, there's actually a certificate of it too. It says here, special eggs exemption, the Easter Bunny, to travel freely into and throughout the province of British Columbia for the essential service of spreading excellent cheer. What does it say to the letter? It says, I am pleased to welcome you to our province for your annual egg delivering duties. This year, we're all looking out for loved ones and festivities look quite different. I know that you're also taking extra care, so even if you can't make it to every home, I want to thank you for sharing your positive spirit, happiness with kids, families across the province. That's a little fun thing. I guess for today, a lot of interesting stuff I saw actually relates to this platform, like the YouTube and the comments. First thing was, why are there actually people of different channels arguing with each other on one of the videos that I made? Like, they're literally arguing with each other, like they hate each other's guts for some reason. Like, holy smoke, there's like a wall of text and stuff like that. That's kind of crazy. I guess they'll settle it themselves, but holy smokes, what's with this? Are people in the drone community that's, I guess, spiteful against each other, where they can't even talk to each other when they go to someone else's, I guess, video and channel to debate each other like crazy, which doesn't really directly, I guess, you could say, relate to the content itself, like the one that I put out. But with that matter in the comments, apparently this is a thing on YouTube. I noticed it myself and it's kind of suspicious at first, because for myself, when I read comments and stuff like that, I treat it as real people. So when I all of a sudden see like a new name or something like that, I'm wondering, where'd this guy come from? But you guys might have noticed it too, where every time I publish a video, it's always like the same person. The more recent one, the username is Tom, and it posts very generic messages. Almost it seems like, I guess, seconds or minutes when a video is published, like just generic stuff like, nice content, keep it up, dude. But then as I looked at this as the time went by, it seemed like it's the same robot, I guess you could say, just under different names. For example, other names like Tem, Tyler, the comical Canadian. What? A Canadian? Are you sure? Yeah, apparently this bot's just basically spamming everyone to death. You can see like his channel, he has like what, over 200,000 subscribers just from spamming everybody to death. And people wonder why people do this type of stuff. As to why, I'm just guessing. It seems like they're basically advertising other channels and stuff too. Like the person has a different one, they're using this one as a catalyst. You spam people to death, and I guess afterwards they'll go over and say, hey, what's this stuff? Just an extra note if anyone was trying to interact with this robot, because I know a lot of times some of you even make it like a fun game, like, hey, I comment first and then this guy beats you to it. This guy isn't real, so it doesn't count. So if you guys actually beat this guy in terms of, I guess, posting the first comment or whatever, congratulations, because he goes pretty fast. Seems like yesterday you guys beat him too. I guess during times like this, there are a lot of people who are trying to find things to do, for example, at their homes. Some people flying their drones, although it's kind of interesting reading this one. It says, Jersey Airport reminds islanders that drone flying is not essential daily exercise. Jersey Airport is reminding islanders that drone flying is not deemed essential and therefore does not fall into the category of permitted daily exercise activities. Air traffic control says it is unable to issue any permission to operate drones within the aerodrome traffic zone to anyone other than those who are officially sanctioned commercial drone operators. These operators must have specific permission from the Director of Civil Aviation to conduct operations at this time. Pilots are being asked to follow government advice and refrain from operating their drones during lockdown. That's kind of interesting in multiple ways. I guess the first thing is, what happens if the person's just walking, for example, exercising, but at the same time they have the drone on a follow me? Does that count as not, I guess, essential anymore, where you can't do that? Or at the same time, I'm just curious, because if you have, like, let's just say here, like an advanced license, doesn't that technically mean like a commercial person? Or in the US, like, what is it, that 107? Like, doesn't that qualify as a commercial person anyways? So yeah, that's a little confusing. What if they asked, like, hey, I'm just gonna fly for fun today? Wouldn't that be the same thing as saying, okay, we'll approve you? Because you definitely need the balance, otherwise you'll go to all those other stories of people going nuts, committing crime, having things like what, more domestic abuse. Because even stuff like this, it says mental illness will be the next wave of COVID-19 pandemic, epidemiologist says. An epidemiologist says social isolation could lead to a range of mental health issues as people face the prospect of living under the COVID-19 restrictions for months. Sandra Gallia, Dean Boston University School of Public Health, says the isolation as well as the uncertainty about how long it will last and how the pandemic will play out can contribute to increased anxiety. I wouldn't doubt that one bit. I know there's a bunch of memes, for example, showing a bunch of world leaders saying, stay at home or whatever, and then they're just gradually aging them in the photos just to show you it's gonna last forever. It's gonna be some point where we have to say, okay, there has to be like a better way. Even I said, like as a joke, if you have to give every single person a gas mask and say you need to do this for the time being, then I might be actually better than just locking people up like a prison for the most part. Fortunately here so far for the time being, it's a keep your distance approach, but who knows if that'll change. Alright, see you guys later.